This our show, and we talk about everything, and we talk about everything. Royal Flex the Brand's on Introspective Insight right now. Peace, love, and all that good stuff. I am KingDevDoe.
And I am back. It is Noel Moore. Shannon is not here, guys. I just want that to be known. Shannon is absent. He's not in the building.
Yeah, he ain't here. His chair is here, though, but he's not here.
As much shit as he has talked about me in the past few weeks. You've talked shit, too, though.
I'm here. I'm always here. Every week.
What's the beef?
Every week.
Well,
but this is RoyalFlexTheBrand's Introspective Insight talk show, the Black Wall Street podcast. And I'm here like I am every week.
I have places to be. It's the summer. I'm living my best life.
You said 6:15. You got here at 6:20 with a dog.
Okay, all right. That's not disrespect. That's not disrespect Sophia, because she's relaxed right now. A dog. She's chilling.
That's really disrespectful.
You hear that, Nika?
The word of the show is manki. Okay. Manki. Which is having failed, missed, or fallen short, especially because of circumstances or a defect of character. And then the quote of the show is, I have no methods. All I do is accept people as they are. I thought about manki as when we say people is monkey.
Yeah.
Like, Ebonics is so universal, it's crazy.
I talked about Ebonics this week. It's funny you brought that up.
Yeah, we really create stuff and then they just recreate it.
It worked.
But it worked. Like, you monkey. But the official word is monkey. Yeah. That's crazy. I seen that. I was like, yeah, that got to be the word of the show. But the off topic is,
I know this is off topic like a motherfucker, so I ain't gonna expound on it. But
all right, so the off topic is just something that I seen within the last week.
You gotta fill me in. What's going on here? In Rochester. First of all, the cops be tripping. Just police be tripping. Matter of fact, this week I posted on Facebook saying, like, what would y'all think if I said I was taking the RPD exam? Yeah, I didn't even comment on that because you're always on some stupid shit.
And people really took it serious. Like, even
I saw people like, you should do it, but
yeah, my granny said, so are you serious about taking the exam? I'm like, no, that's for content. I want to see what people think about me. And
they think you'll be a good cop?
They think I would be a good cop, but I already went through that, and they don't want me on no type of police force just because of who I am. And
you also were in Atlanta, though, trying to.
They still don't want me. Okay. They want you to answer questions specifically, and they want you to be basically a robot to the system.
E-ish?
Just being able to, I don't know. I don't follow rules and command and the chain of command and stuff very well. So saying yes, sir, to somebody just because you got stripes or yeah.
Oh, they say yes, sir?
I mean, yeah. Oh. It's just like, it's the police is the military watered down. Whitewashed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the military is whitewashed too, but just watered down. But anyways,
well, in the military, if they kill people 9 times out of 10, they actually get tried and go to court and usually go to jail. The police don't. In some situations, the police have more privilege than the military people. I feel. How many times have you heard of somebody from the military going like shooting some random shit up, right? Because they have PTSD because they send them to other countries to do wild shit. And then they're treated just like a regular citizen.
Well, actually, they don't shoot nothing up, though.
Yeah, they do.
Military, past military.
I don't hear about it because they don't want to give that stigma of what's going on.
Yeah, but they still.
But every now and again.
I mean, the Dallas shooter was an ex-military person. "Quote unquote," but they blew him up.
Sometimes we hear about this wild shit. They be in the military.
I think he was fake though, but that's a conspiracy theory.
The DC sniper?
No, Dallas shooter.
Oh,
I was killing the police officers.
Just recently?
It was like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, and they killed him in the
with the robot.
In the yeah.
And it was nothing. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so the cops here in Rochester. So 2 nights ago, maybe. So 2 nights ago, it's funny. The cops was chasing somebody with a warrant on foot down Jefferson.
You saw this?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so on Facebook,
I never catch a police chase, and that's something that's on my bucket list.
I've seen a police chase. Like, I was going to this event one Saturday night, and this car went like speeding past me down Lyle, and I was going down Lyle. And then I seen a state trooper, RPD, sheriff, state trooper, RPD. But right before I seen the police, the car that sped past me, I'm like, dang, why they driving like a maniac real fast? I'm talking
like a maniac.
2 seconds later, smashed into a car. Going full speed, dude, get out and start running. And then the police.
What would you have? What would you have to do in order for that to be what's going on for you? Like, they're not getting me.
What I have to do?
Yes. What did you just do?
Oh, I would have had to like. Oh no, that's fun. I would have had to do something for the people, and it's like, yeah, I'm out.
Y'all not getting me.
Like on some Asa Shakur type, I'm going to Cuba type thing. Like, yeah, this for the people. Y'all gonna remember me.
Yeah, like y'all not.
And I'm running to Cuba. I don't know which way. I'm going somewhere. Yeah, I don't know what he did, but he was running fast.
He had to
have he had to be at least a mile, half a mile to a mile in front of the police. Cause I had enough time to watch him pass me, talk my junk, and watch him slam into a car, get out and run before I seen the first cop car.
Oh, they didn't catch him.
Like, I don't know if they caught him, but it was like, he got out, he ran, one cop car went this way, the other cop car went straight, one cop car stopped, they started splitting up and stuff. They was on the radio and everything. But on Jefferson, so they was running, he had a warrant, they was on the foot chase down Jefferson. Only reason why I knew about it, like, in the moment, because people was like, oh, somebody shot the boys. Or
okay,
like
I saw that.
So then the article came out that night, and it was talking about how the cop, they was on a foot chase. The cop called in that shots fired at the police when they was chasing because they thought they heard something that sounded like a gunshot. And in the report, it said only one, like the body cam only heard one thing, like one shot that sounded like a gunshot. And I'm like, okay. So if somebody's shooting at you, I doubt they're gonna shoot at you one time and then stop. Mm-hmm. And then if
if you're a cop, at this point, that's attempted murder, right? So I might as well go through.
Right.
I might as well just.
And even then, you're trained as a cop, and most cops are ex-military, so you know what a gunshot sounds like, and you know that you would take cover instead of continue to pursue somebody if you knew that you thought you were in imminent danger.
Yeah.
But anyways, then the article goes and it says, it said that the cop, while he was arresting the person with the warrant, I guess, so apparently they caught him, he got punched in the back of the head.
Oh, okay. I saw some of this. Okay.
He got punched in the back of the head, only in Rochester. Probably just only in the hood. Yeah. But that mean that cop probably had something ignorant to say, or he was talking junk, and the dude, whoever it was like, I'm fed up. That's something you would run from the cops.
So he punched him in the back of his head, and then the other guy was able to get away?
No, I guess they arrested both of them. Like, the other guy was in cuffs. The other guy punched the cop in the back of the head. Then he went to I think Strong for his injuries. And in the first article it said like he's fine. He went to Strong to check up on his injuries, and then his knees was fine or something like that. And I'm like, only in Rochester that you get punched so hard in the back of your head, you feel it in your knees.
Like, they was like, fuck it, I'm going to jail.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna punch him right. Who thinks to punch a cop in the back of their head? And what? These cops be tripping.
You'd be surprised how many. Listen.
So I wonder what the cop said to this individual that punched him in the back of the head. But more power to the person that punched him in the back of the head, because you ain't have no care, no regard for your life
really
at all.
Didn't.
Like, you was close range, and ain't no way to say you ain't do it. So like, I can't even imagine that. So
it has nothing to do with an ass. It has, you know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with any of that. You took it upon yourself to say, I'm gonna risk my life to punch this nigga in the back of his head, because once he has all. Him being a cop,
I'm gonna punch him in the back.
He can do whatever fuck he wanted to do.
And the only reason why I pressed the article or read the article, because I thought it said shot in the back of the head. Because
that's wild.
Somebody on Facebook said somebody shot the boy.
You gotta stop.
So I read
people's statuses,
and then I was like, oh, he really got punched in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened in Rochester. But these cops be tripping.
Did you see?
It's more so they tripping because they called in shots fired, and I doubt any shots was fired. They were just in the hood. uncomfortable, scared, running after somebody in the dark. It was like 12 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night or something like that. So, yeah, whatever. And then Texas, real quick before we move on. You ain't see what happened in the story in Texas?
Is the one who's planting the drugs?
Nah, the horse, the cop.
Oh, that
on the back
slave
of the horse
shit. I went right past
they
it. I went
had
right
him on a
past
lasso.
that.
These cops tripping, and then
They're not tripping. They are operating in which they are able to operate.
Oh yeah, they're operating within their system, but they tripping still. Like these cops, police officers, slave catchers, whatever you want to call them, they.
Listen.
And they had the nerve to apologize. Don't nobody want your apology.
Okay, so can I talk about, speaking of that, how I'm over the apology shit? Like, I'm over the something wild happens, or you find a tweet from 1999, or some employee at fucking, I don't know, Gucci says some wild shit, and everybody comes out with this, like, random ass, fake ass apology. I don't understand what that's about. So they came and apologized about something that they were okay with doing, and they only apologized because we found out about it because the internet is around.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. Because if they didn't, if the internet wasn't around or the videos wasn't out, they wouldn't apologize, because these are the same things they've been doing for years. And at the end of the day, these are like practices that they practice on a daily basis.
Yeah, like shooting at black people as your target. It's
just like the Jeremy Capo thing when he said Martin Luther King Jr. and then he ain't feeling the need to apologize in the moment until somebody brought it to his attention. These are things that you practice on a daily basis. These are things that are a part of your being. So since it's a part of your being, I don't feel the need to apologize or say anything until I see the backlash. It's like, oh, dang. That looks kind of bad.
Sometimes it's that, and sometimes people try to give themselves credit for being a good person. Like in white people world, like, oh, I'm not racist because I do this, and oh, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So then when they do fuck up, it's like, well, overall, I'm a good person, so it's not like I have to do any work, or it's
overall,
not
you ain't
like,
nothing.
you know? So
nothing.
that's more so that, like, well, I'm not a racist and I made a mistake, so why do I have to?
Yeah.
But if it's not real, I'm good on it though. I'm not in the practice of just collecting fucking apologies in my bag. I'm good on that.
It's not real. And Texas already got the stigma of being a racist state anyway, so
is it a stigma?
I mean, the reputation. I
don't
know why I said stigma. The reputation of being a racist state, but it's a racist world, like you just said.
It's dangerous to be black in this world.
Period.
Brown, tan, whatever you call yourself. It's dangerous to be a non-white.
Melanated people.
That's just the moral of the
story. If you ain't from white peopleville, then
what is white?
White peopleville is just anywhere that white people be. Like in the moment that they was chasing that dude, we was in white peopleville, even though we was in the hood. They was in the hood, but we was in white peopleville. Oh, because all they gotta do is just it's a mindset. Mentality that
absolutely, and people don't listen. Please don't get me sad. We can have a whole session about white people mentalities, because that's
it's
I'm
a mentality.
There today.
So when I say white peopleville, it's the mentality that they reside in turn of their ignorance. So when they're ignorant, they reside in white peopleville. Because if you think about majority white places, the sticks, deep in the suburbs, things of that nature, that's white peopleville. They live in their own
world.
In their own world. They're not bothered by racism because they create the communities in which they live. So it's white peopleville. So it's I just feel like that's like a universal saying that I've kind of been using over time, and I mean it holds weight
when it's some white shit going on.
Yes, man, they from white peopleville. You could tell.
So speaking of this, right? Because there's a million and one conversations going on about what white people are doing, which is cool. These things are true 100% of the time. White people are wild as fuck. But until people start having real life conversations with their friends and their family members who continue to put themselves in positions to be caught up in whiteville, right? I'm not asking for someone to treat me better. I'm not asking for someone to see me. I think we need to be asking each other to see one another and hear one another, because hey, first of all, you look like a fool asking somebody to help you that doesn't care if you alive or not. Like, that's wild to me. You don't care if I'm breathing, I can't ask you for anything. Secondly, you have to hold yourself and you have to hold your community accountable for stupid shit. At this point in the game, you can't afford to be caught up with no cops.
Nah.
Any brown person. And the fact that although the police have been killing people since police have been invented because that was their job, this has been going on. But the exposure to it through the internet, it creates fear. But you got to think, for like white people and cops, what it also creates is, I know nothing will happen to me, because now they're able to see it. So if you're in a town in Mississippi and a white cop kills a black person, and you know, it might erupt in that town, people, it might be like some protest, whatever, but if the internet didn't exist, the only people who would know are people that are close to it, right? So if this cop gets off, how does he know that every other cop in America can get off for it? Because he only know what's going on in his community. So the fact that this shit is now on the internet and it's like public knowledge and everybody can see it, hell yeah, they really got their balls hanging out.
That's a fact.
Bro, we gotta focus on us. You can't have two enemies
100%.
at one time and trying to fight both of them. Like, it makes no sense to me. So I think that's the more important conversation that we're supposed to be having, because you teach people how to treat you, right? So as a human race, us, like when you, just like East Ave, how we talked about East Ave, and I don't feel comfortable on East Avenue and not because the people are drunk. I don't feel comfortable as a black person on East Avenue. That's not where I go.
Right.
But then you have people who are on East Avenue acting a fucking fool, and then want to be like, oh, people were being this to me, or people were being racist and they was acting funny. But then you out here giving them a reason to say, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. We can treat them like animals because look at the shit that they're doing. Not to say white people aren't doing these same things, because they are, but you already know how that go.
Right.
We're not fighting that argument. We can throw that shit off the table.
You seen Park Ave Fest.
Exactly.
That's
we
what
know
I
they
wanna talk
fucking
about,
fight.
yeah.
But the point is, like, have some accountability for yourself. I'm tired of hearing people talk about white people, but they're not doing anything.
So, yeah, last week on the show, we talked about ownership and community, and that was one of the bases. How we got to support each other. We build community together as opposed to separately. Like, you can't build community, and then I'm building community over here. You could be building community over there, and they're building community over there. It's a all-inclusive process to which we learn from each other, and we work with each other to build a common image, a common idea of what community is.
But greed always gets in the way of that, because my company can't be bigger than your company, and we friends, and vice versa.
Right.
You getting a contract that I kind of will help my portion, whatever my job is and my role in the community, but then you end up getting it. Now I'm hating. But if we really if we really on the same team, it shouldn't matter, because our relationship is supposed to be that no matter what happens, we doing this shit for the community. So if you get the grant, cool, because it's already been a discussion about where this shit is going.
Right. It's all in the same.
But people can't
network.
do that.
People can't do that, or they're not unwilling because they're ignorant to the benefits of practicing community in that way. But to your point, it's more so like we should be talking about those things, but it's more so at this point, where do we start and how do we start? And I mean, we start here at the table. We start, at our jobs.
I think we start at giving a fuck about each other.
That too. And stop being so hard on each other. Another message from last show, to which we can be a little bit too hard on each other, to which now we're becoming detrimental to each other's growth, because we're like the whole, I don't support black people. This is an example from last show. I don't support black businesses because bad customer service, blah, blah, blah. That's an excuse.
Somebody told me that.
And at the end of the day, you're being harder on that black business because they're black, and because you're subconsciously going in there with a expectation of being served a certain way, or being greeted a certain way, or being handled a certain way.
Yes and no. Because there are some black people who have businesses out here who are unprofessional, or not even unprofessional, but for one thing for me, right? when I have a customer,
Mm-hmm.
my thought process with that customer is how would I want to be treated within this process. And sometimes I don't think people take that in consideration because I've worked with Black businesses that I felt like
Right.
I'm not really feeling this situation. Like, this is not something I would do as a business owner, but this is also not something that just feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that, and part of that is not having a blueprint, right? So some people who have, like, don't get it twisted. Like, people who own businesses in America, this is generational money. This is slave money. So don't get that misconstrued. Mm-hmm. So when you have that slave money and this shit has been going on, you have to think the first business owners in America was white people because they owned the people. That was the business.
Mm-hmm.
So they have been taught this through generation, right?
Right.
Also, I believe a lot of things are passed down through genetics.
Absolutely.
So,
post-traumatic slave syndrome touches on that.
So, they have a blueprint already. They're in these circles that everybody else around them has a blueprint. They're friends of friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, their parents own a business, and then they have children with people who also own. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, it's just like a little network, whatever. So I get it.
Right.
You really don't. I was talking to my mom about this last night, actually. Like, it's hard when you don't have a blueprint. It's hard when nobody else around you has ever done it. You're trying to figure this shit out and exposing yourself to things that you've never known about. As far as, like, I didn't know how to calculate how much I have versus what I'm putting out, and how to divide shit up to say this, I should charge this person this. Like, that's not something I grew up doing. But but my kid who's gonna be with me as this is going on is automatically
gonna be generational, up.
Right. So I get it. You don't have the blueprint, but you still have to be held accountable as a Black business to, I feel, be better, because you already know how the shit is out here. So yes and no. Some things.
Do they really?
Do they really got to be good out here?
No. Do they really know how bad it is out here? A lot of people live in a bubble. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just like that's just like me. How I celebrate Kwanzaa every year, going to a Black person and saying, you already should know what Kwanzaa is because this is for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, once they're trying to know
what's out here, as far as, you know, the state of the world, like, you know what's going on.
Right. But I'm just saying this. You know the state of Black people and where we come from, and how we're trying to unify, quote unquote. So you should know. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that assumption of you should know that this, and this is how we should be doing it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that is also a part of the divisive nature of, you know, when we go into that subconscious, like, you already know our position in the world, which they should, but a lot of them know it, but they disregard it because they're trying to be greedy, because they're trying to live that European lifestyle to where.
Yeah, but in the simplest form, when you go to a store or you get a service done from somebody, you know how you want that to be done. You know how you want to feel in that moment. So no, I don't feel like if you do hair and you tell people this is the number to contact me to get an appointment. No, I don't think it should take you 3 days to get back to somebody, because what you really should have done is you should have a phone number for your business and a phone number for personal, or figure out a system. Like, it's out here, the internet. It's free. Facebook. Oh my God. First of all, Devin, I should listen to you a long time ago with the whole Facebook page thing, because the appointments go right through Facebook. I do nothing.
Everything goes through Facebook.
I do nothing.
Everything goes through Facebook.
So
that's like a whole website.
How hard is it to have a Facebook page and do your appointment?
A lot of people
you know
don't
what
know.
I'm saying?
A lot of people don't know. I talk to grown people.
I didn't know because you told me to
I talk to grown people right
that
now that don't know about Facebook marketing. Like, I be telling people, yo, you can market on Facebook all the way down to a pregnant single mom in the sticks. Like, it's really, once you go into the marketing, you can really pinpoint exactly who it is that you want to see these posts. Yeah. So I just feel like, as it pertains to supporting each other, we just got to be more open to constructive criticism, because I think that's where the disconnect is. Because if I'm constructively criticizing you, then you take that personal and then you start to be defensive. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when we go into these Black-owned businesses, we just expect more out of them, and then once we get what we should be expecting, then it's like, all right, I'm going back here because Black people don't know how to talk, or the Black people don't know how to act. But in all actuality, when you going into the Walmarts of the world and some of the Wegmans, if you really want to be honest, you know, the Aldis and all these white establishments that don't care about you,
Aldi's.
that don't care about you or the advancement of your people, you do anything. You will pay for overpriced items. You will pay for fake items. You will pay for all these different things. And in all actuality, when you're going into these black-owned businesses, 9 times out of 10, these products are made to help better you, whether it's in better health, better hair products. So healthy hair, I mean, that goes into better health. Good vibes. All these different things that would help you spring forward, help us spring forward. But we just have to hone that grounding to where we're actively helping each other build up to, that ultimate Black Wall Street type mentality. But we get stuck because we're trying to hold black businesses somewhere to where it probably won't get for a generation because they got to learn these things.
And some of it is poverty.
Yeah, right. It's a combination, but I feel like just like how we was talking about last show, it's gonna take those owners that's been in the game for a while because white people, even different other minorities within the United States,
Can we call
Chinese,
them something other than white people?
Chinese, huh?
So we need to call them something other than white people.
Caucasian people,
No.
the Caucasians. But just really any other ethnic group besides black people has the generational capital, intellectual capital to pass down to their youth.
Well, they're able to assimilate,
and they were able to come
I had
together.
a conversation with someone who told me that in other words that they don't treat black people a certain way because they remember how it felt to be discriminated against back when they were a child because they were Italian.
Huh? Wait, they don't treat black people the same way because they...
I was pretty much calling this person out and saying, yo, like you have some sort of prejudice or something within you because this is what I see. And their response was, that can't be what you see because I was discriminated against as a child because I am Italian.
Oh my goodness.
But I said, that's a story for another day. We need a whole show on this interaction.
I hate that.
But I say that.
White Fragility.
Yeah.
Read that book too. Yeah. Dope book. If you want that book.
So I have this okay.
Well, yeah.
Say after. But anyway, I say that to say that there's different groups of people who have been alienated in American history, but at this point have been able to assimilate as well. So everybody might not have slave money, but by the time the Irish people got here and by the time the Italians got here, they had their little run of discrimination, but they were able to assimilate. They were able to, but there was a time in history where then people didn't fuck with Italians, people didn't fuck with Irish. Like it was European. Let me not say people.
It was up until
Europeans
the Bacon's Rebellion.
Came over here, took the shit over, and then didn't like they didn't like no motherfucking body. Then like black people, native people, and then they ended up not liking people who came over here to work. Because they did funny shit with the Japanese men they had come over here. They did funny shit with the Irish when the Irish first came, and then they did shit with the Italians. But these were short runs, and they were not slaves. So let's start there. But what I'm saying is these people have been able to assimilate, right?
Right.
Asians are a preferred minority. White people fuck with Asians, so they have safe like
because
little racist jokes and shit like that. Yes, they do.
Skin.
But Asians are fair. They're palatable. They're light. They like Europeans like light people.
Yeah. So they talk about that. She talks about that in White Fragility as well too. How after a while, white people would basically they would, if you look white, they would assimilate you as white.
Yeah.
Until you start talking, and then they'll be like, it's almost like Mexicans when they look white, and then they start talking, it's like But all that goes into levels of support as I kind of bring this full circle in the sense of there are many different levels of support, whether it's close friends or from afar, from up close and personal or from afar. People say they support you, but what type of support really matters?
What is support for you?
I can tell you how I support people. I support people.
No, what do you expect? What is your expectation of support? No, not expect, but when you think of how would I want somebody to support me, what is
I feel like I would want somebody to support me as I support others, per se. Which is kind of hard because you always say you can't really expect somebody to act how you act. But I feel like the way that I support people is a very just organic way. That's where I'm more so from the where the support comes from. Like, I'm not supporting you because I see that I can benefit from something that you have. I'm supporting you because I genuinely care about what you're doing, and I see what you're doing, and it's real dope, and I approve of what you're doing. If I don't approve of what you're doing, like, I just watched like a minute of a local artist video, and I was like, nah, this is nope, it's not it.
Okay.
I can't support that, so I won't share it. I won't, you know what I'm saying? I support the grind, but the content is just not what I would align myself with. So the way that I normally support people, is I just when I see you doing something that I approve of, I just shoot. Even if I don't even know you, like, I be on IG and I see people and I just be like, yo, that's dope. I be talking to people that's in different states that I'd never met a day in my life, and we just be talking because I'd be like, yo, this is fire. Like, anything that's artsy, that's real, that's whether it's dance or poetry or spoken word or rap, battle rap, whatever it is, like, if it's dope and I was see
up to
you
3 a.m. watching battle raps the other day. That shit gets intense.
Yeah.
Like, they really be beefing.
Yeah, but it's all just within that realm.
Yeah.
Once they are outside of that realm, there's like they best friends type thing.
Wild.
Like, they cool. Yeah. But yeah, anything like that, like, I just feel like if I give you, like, yo, keep doing what you're doing, like, this drink is dope, that gives you the push that you need, because maybe that day you was feeling down, or maybe that day you wasn't up to it, or to get up and write some things down or brainstorm or anything like that. I feel like that support goes a long way, even with podcasting. Like, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I listen to your show, or your show is dope, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like to actually support that show is to go and leave comments or the 5-star review, or put it on your story randomly. Like, I had a few people, one person, I can't remember who it was, but tagged me in their Facebook story and was like, I'm just checking in, like, I'm listening to the show right now. And it was a screenshot and everything. And I felt like that was dope, because that is a concrete way of showing me that you're actually supporting what I'm doing, as opposed to just telling me, I support what you're doing. But if I go and I'm supporting you, I'm actively doing stuff, engaging in what you're doing, even if I'm commenting on the picture or putting the picture, it's nothing to press the button, literally press the little arrow button and press your story on somebody's Instagram post and put it on your story. Even if only 10 people see it, like, that junk is, it does numbers. Even when we was talking about Marquise, the manicures, manicures. After that, she got like, after I did that little just playing around saying, I fixed it, she got like 4 bookings after, and I did that. I did it with you. I did it with Marquise, and I did it with Lancey. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that's just organic.
Anybody I fuck with, I'm putting them on. It's a girl. She sells wigs. I don't have any hair. She goes on my story. I comment under her shit. She makes wigs, and wigs are like very expensive, and her deposits, I felt, didn't match what the price was at the end. I said, sis, increase your deposit price. I don't give a fuck what these motherfuckers talking about.
Right.
Increase your deposit price. You know why? Because if this product is worth 3 digits, I need all of that.
Right.
And I need I need you to think about that deposit before you don't come get your fucking wig. Because people would do shit like that to you as well, right? So the deposit is really for you to, keep your investment, because you're buying this product and doing whatever. So, hell yeah, it's people out here, I be like, sis, I'm feeling that. Like, I appreciate that. Or because I feel like I'm looking from a customer standpoint, as well as, you're a girl, I know, you out here doing your thing. And she's from Rochester, but she doesn't live here anymore. So she be shipping wigs up here. I say, yes, no, hell no. Increase that price. If they fuck with you, they gonna pay it.
I mean, they're already paying for it now and you shipping it. So make sure pricing is a big thing.
So I think that's also like letting people know you see them also being on some, even a girl who do my lashes. She's like, you think I should, one of my friends told her to raise her price. And she's like, yeah, such and such want to raise my prices. What you think I should do? You've been out here grinding, raise your prices so you can get in a shot.
Supply and demand. Once a lot of people start
people
to come, now it's like,
people don't like that. But at the end of the day, I want to see you win, right? So especially if I've been fucking with somebody, Keith, at some point, when she's up there, says raise your prices.
Raise it.
Because in Fearport, they ain't tripping off what they charging.
Right.
Nobody is, and if you think about it, people that are most successful, people don't even question the shit. Like, there's one girl who do lashes. She got her own lashes. They in the store. Like, people are literally, I've done this, and I don't feel any way about it. Pay $15 for strips. First of all, the quality, I already know what that's like. She's been doing it for a while.
That's the ones that be getting stuck on everything?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The one that'll just come off all at once. Yes.
Oh, that's they call it a strip.
And she's the mentor to the girl that does my lashes. You know what I'm saying? So she is putting other people on. That's how you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's about to have a whole like lash bar. Like, so you come from having your own shit, like just hustling. Then you get your own shop. Now you're mentoring people. Now you got your own like bar where you can have multiple people and have like actual people working for you, and you can be good on your shit. So I don't think people black people don't like the idea of, I see, and it's weird to me, but it's like, I see where the money I spent is going in your life versus you going to a Wegmans or you going to a Walmart or whatever, where you don't necessarily see where the money is going or who the money is going to.
Right.
But you're paying somebody's rent. You're paying somebody's mortgage. You're paying somebody's student college tuition, and your kid don't have a college fund.
Right.
Because the money you put in is not going back into your community. So you have people out here doing stuff, and they're making college funds for people. They having book bag drives for people, or they starting their own non-for-profits for the community, right? This is them people giving back. So if you giving money to them and they pouring money into your kids, that's how shit elevates. So people don't like to see that shit. People don't like to see you. Like, I know this person done sold 5 pieces this year. Now all of a sudden they driving around in a BMW. I know they got that shit because LaQuanda, Jaquan, James, and such and such. Blah, 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 blah. Right? But it's just like, but why though? But why not? But why not? Why not me? Because you buying shit from old boy who live in Webster, and he won't even want you in his town.
Nah, he don't want you in your town. He gonna call the cops as soon as he get.
Mind you, you go to his gym though. You got a membership.
Mm-hmm.
You be there.
I was looking into, speaking of a gym, I was looking into not starting a gym, but
Life
opening up a
Eatery
franchise.
has something going on, but I don't know what happened.
Who?
Life Eatery? They're on the east side.
Oh, on Joseph. No. Hudson?
No, North Street. North and Clinton.
Clinton. One of them, yeah.
North
they do
and
the yeah, that's another conversation.
But I didn't see the gym is not there, I don't believe, but they were trying to do something like that.
Conversation. But yeah, just to support, I just want to talk about that. What does real support look like? What you already asked. And I kind of already answered. I just feel like with support, when you supporting the people, your friends or, people from afar, because we support, like Megan Thee Stallion just put out that song "Hot Girl Summer" with Nicki Minaj, and that junk was trash. But everybody,
I didn't listen to it.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this is fire!" Da, da, da. Like y'all don't understand. Like what we're talking about is what y'all do with the celebrities, what y'all do with Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, all that stuff. When y'all go and y'all share their stuff on y'all page, that's the same difference to sharing your best friend lashes on your story, on your page, and saying, "Oh, this is fire." Da da da. It's the same difference, just on a micro level as opposed to a macro level. Well, when you stream
the music, when you listen to it on Apple Music, she get money. There's a certain amount of money that's getting deposited into her account every single time you press play.
For streams.
So you're
100%.
It's
support.
Paying her college tuition.
Right. Literally paying her college tuition. She's 23 years old. I was like, she's 23 years old. Dang. I'm tired of getting old because then everybody that's getting money is younger than me. That drug be hitting me kind of hard. Like,
yep.
Like,
look at Kylie. She's like 21 or some shit. 22. Well,
she white and privileged. She not self-made.
Her sister sucked some dick.
She not.
Say that, 'cause they ain't have money like
they
that. They had money, but they ain't have money.
They
like
still
how they
privileged.
Got money now.
They mom dad was a track star.
They don't. All I'm saying is,
they
sister
mom
sucked
dad
a little
was
dick.
Track star.
They mom a track star.
They mom dad. That's.
I'm not touching that situation.
But yeah, that's all I kind of just. It's levels to support. So know what your level is, and up it. Whatever your level is, up it. Like know where you fall in those levels, because supporting from afar is cool. Because you can support from afar and support from up close and have the same effect. So whether you supporting from afar or you supporting while you standing right next to them grinding, just make sure that you doing it in a way that's actually benefiting that person that you supporting. Because again, energies, the universe gives to you what you put into the universe. So if you putting in that energy to the universe, it's gonna come back to you in tenfold. Like I said, I don't expect people to support me like I support them, I just feel like I'm the example. So it's just like when I was when I was just watching the Breakfast Club interview with Dr. Sebi family, and they was like, a lot of the things that we do now we won't see. It's a gradual climb. So I'm not gonna see the people supporting people like I'm supporting people, or I'm not gonna see the people supporting me like I'm supporting me, because it's a gradual thing. I gotta set the example. I gotta be the example. So that's the same thing with Black Wall Street. I might never see Black Wall Street rebuild again, but as long as I'm getting those blocks rolling and building and stuff,
somebody else,
then generationally it's gonna come. It's gonna take a few generations to build that. Probably, I don't know. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 10 years from now. 100.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Like, in Dubai, it's crazy. Like, crazy.
And they're saying the same thing about Africa, not to push, like, going back to Africa because we're not from, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going about blah. But the market in Africa is wide open.
It is. I would definitely go to Africa and build houses and, like, businesses and base it out of there.
It just speaks to how quickly... It speaks to how quickly a community that wants to do something together and has each other back and is loyalty to
100%. It can grow.
It can grow. In your lifetime, Black Wall Street can really be a thing, but everybody got to be on it.
It's crazy.
Other cultures kind of hold that to a high regard as far as like family, loyalty, you know, to get money in a certain situation. Like that's ingrained in them from birth.
100%.
And Black people want to be white, but Black. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and we can't be white but Black. Because genetically, we can't be white. Like, we can't be of the European mentality because we are not of that mentality. European mentality is very punctual and it's very self-centered and it's very self-centered, same difference. And we're the exact opposite as a people. We're very generous. We're very open. We're very loving. We're expressive. We want to do things together naturally. That's why you have gangs. Like, gangs were created because together we felt like us as a unit can create and push change.
America, y'all not confused?
All right.
Shit. Nothing will be here without your ancestors. Like, act like it.
We supported each other, but I feel like support, the art of support, the spectrum of support, people don't know where they fall in their support. And I feel like if you actually look and reflect on how you support your people, your circle, then you will get an idea of how effective you are in helping rebuild community, and all that good stuff. So as we shift gears a little bit, let's talk about the Rich Paul rule. The NCAA handed down this week. Rich Paul is LeBron, Anthony Davis, Chris Paul, Ben Simmons, to name a few of the big names in the NBA's agent. And he doesn't have a college degree, and he's one of the best agents in the NBA as it pertains to deals, landing deals, getting his players where they want to land, all that good stuff, right? Killing it in the game, and he's black. So, and LeBron keeps his circle working. So, the Fat Five coming out of Ohio when he was there, the Irish, he kind of kept them close. So, giving them work and all that stuff. So, basically, Rich Paul doesn't have a degree. He's killing it in a white man's world. And so the white man decided to hand down some sanctions, if you will, for lack of better terms, to which to be an agent, represent an NCAA player, you have to have a 4-year degree. You have to have NCAA certification. You have to have, I think, 5 years of experience in the agent, in the field of being an agent, and all this other stuff.
My first question when I heard this was, is this going to take his status away?
No. They can't take his status away because he's not representing NCAA players. He's representing pro players. Now, what this does is directly eliminates him from representing any up-and-coming NCAA players. So players coming from the NCAA. So basically, and I was just like, honestly, this right here shows two things. It shows, one, how from looking at it from a wholesome perspective, how these requirements for jobs, you have to have a 4-year degree, you have to have 10 years of experience, you have to have this certification, you have to have that, you have to have that, is made to only let certain people in. Rich Paul has showed that you don't have to have a college degree to be successful. As long as you have the experience, over time, you will learn more and be more valuable than that person coming out of college with a 4-year degree. Now, that's not saying that a 4-year degree is useless, but when you go through the trenches and you go through all these different channels and these loopholes to make these type of rules, it shows that they don't value the person. They really don't value anything unless it's helping benefit them. So this is them supporting their own people. I'm going to support my people because at the end of the day, agents are generally white. NCAA, the college association, athletic association.
Okay, so most pro players come through there.
College, D1.
Okay, but once you're in the pros, you can switch your agent. So once you're pro, can you switch your agent?
Yes. You could. If your agent not working for you, yeah, you could switch agent because at the end of the day, they work for you.
So pretty much, he just doesn't get the first pick. So depending on what their contract is with the agent, he'll have to wait for that contract to be up to then grab this player.
So basically, people this is what is stopping. If the NCAA, if I'm a big player in the NCAA and I want my brother to be my agent, they won't allow that to happen because he doesn't have a 4-year degree. So LeBron had his high school people kind of managing him his whole career, even though he didn't go to the NCAA. So you can't bring your own person. You have to
have to trust them. You have to get somebody from their system.
It's basically they're making it so it's harder to get.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's harder to get.
Can you not have an agent?
You need an agent in order to, like for the draft and stuff. You need an agent.
That's wild shit.
It's like your lawyer, basically. Like that's your spokesperson. So, but the point of that is not necessarily.
Has that went into effect?
Yeah, they already said it. They already did all that stuff. And I mean, it's just another attempt to hold us back as people. Chris Broussard said it's blatant racism.
I'm gonna act like I know who that is, but I don't.
Chris Broussard is just a sports analyst for ESPN.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just one of those things to where it's like, okay, cool. So since all the black people over there is getting this money and he's representing, the black players and they're all getting money together, I'm gonna make it so these black people don't make this money.
With him. Yeah.
It's the same.
But eventually, at some point in their career, they can move over to the other side.
Right. But generally your agent stays the same because it's like a partnership. So I'm making sure you get what you want, we get what we want, and it's together. So if you do that within the family, then the family is eating.
I understand that, but they have to know that that's going to happen. Like with this stipulation, they have to know that eventually people are going to cross over.
Well, yeah, but I just feel
whoever really would want him as an agent.
Right. But it's just that mentality of, okay, well, we're going to try to make this that much harder.
It's not.
And then also trying to normalize that degrees are everything, which I actually just had a conversation.
Now that Trump is the president.
I just had a conversation with somebody on Wednesday, and they was telling me how I should get my degree because if I get my degree, then they have to pay me. I'm like, my mom got her master's degree, and they not trying to pay her. Like they're not trying to move her out of her position, and that's making her like, well, dang, I should have never got my master's degree. I'm in this, I added on to my debt, and they still not honoring this master's degree. And like I said, the way I see Degrees is more so get the degree for you to expand your brain,
Absolutely.
your mind, your being on whatever it is that you want to expand your being on.
I had a conversation with somebody about me.
Not for money.
About me going back to school, and they pretty much asked me like, well, if you're starting this company, why go to college, right? I'm like, that's for me.
100% is
that's
for
for me. I grew up in an area where I was supposed to be nothing. Like, I'm getting a fucking degree, literally just to say, fuck you. I don't care. You know, I don't know how other people feel like about that, but I know my capabilities, and I'll be able to use it if I want to. But B, hell yeah,
and I get it on my own time though.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it on your time. I'm not getting it to get paid more. Because at the end of the day,
exactly,
my experience and my work, my performance appraisals, quote unquote, are the things that should judge my pay rates going up or staying the same.
I mean, at this point, it's about who you know, and I'm
100%.
And when
it's
you in
about
a good
who's in charge.
position and you know a good group, you're fine with or without.
With or without. I mean, I'm in a position that requires a bachelor's degree, and I only got an associate's degree. Mm-hmm. It's because of who I knew. Mm-hmm. Recommended me, and I got in there. Mm-hmm. So now I'm in the position to where now I'm about to. They ain't paying me enough for what I'm doing. I've already proved my worth, so now it's making that push.
Going back to the same school? Mm-hmm. You're not sure
yet? Yeah. 100%. I don't believe in lateral transfers to do more work. That's not what I do. Like if I move anywhere, it's moving up, not over. I'm not gonna move from 34 school to Edison, and I got to do twice the work to build the relationships with the staff and with the kids and all that stuff just to be getting paid the same amount of money. Mm-hmm. So that's a lateral move that makes no sense. So if I'm gonna move, it's a gym for everybody out there. If you're gonna move places, make sure you're moving to get more money.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna move, if you're not gonna get no money as a result to the move, then don't move.
You gotta stay where you at.
Because then you're gonna end up overworking yourself to for nothing for them, unless it's like
at some degree. But sometimes you gotta get the fuck up out of places, though.
Well, yeah, unless it's like I would say like when I was at Home Depot, I moved around the departments, which I got paid more, but I moved around the departments just for the knowledge of. So it works, but in like my case, and just gauge it. Like if you're moving
about a promotion, then no.
Yeah, if you're moving laterally, just
if the environment that
because they
is
said
not healthy, you gotta go. I believe.
Right, 100%. Gauge it though. Like them energies don't lie. Sure. But also don't allow these companies, these white people running these companies, because that's what it is, to overwork you,
not pay you
for little to nothing. Like I done sat in front of a store manager of Home Depot and told them y'all not about to pay me pennies on a dollar to be doing everybody else's job, and I'm doing my job and their job, so you need to get them in line or I'm just gonna be coming in at my time type thing. Like I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I would tell you like it is, because at the end of the day, it's either they're gonna take it as respect or they're gonna take it as disrespect. But the thing is, they can't fire me, because if they fire me, then I'm taking people with me. Like it's a lot. But degrees are not everything. I like to tell people that all the time. Degrees mean nothing. The knowledge means everything.
I would definitely say, if it's one thing I learned in the last year and a half, is that a degree kind of doesn't hold much weight if you're not doing anything medical.
Right. And even if you're doing things medical.
Like there's no a doctor can't get a job because he knows somebody.
Right.
Like, and he's not a doctor.
Yeah, right.
Like, my son need a job, let him know.
I would say,
but for the most part, if you're not doing something medical,
no,
you know, like government type of shit, because if you're a teacher, you need, but a teacher is essentially a government job. You got to go through the state, blah, blah, blah. But even within that, depending on what type of school you work in, different things are required.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it comes to like a summer...
Summer
school or summer type of situation, shit, you might not need nothing.
Right. Honestly, you don't really need a degree in education to be a teacher.
No.
You just need a 4-year degree.
No, you don't.
And then you have to go get your master's once you're in the position.
But most people don't end up doing what they really, really love until they're at the master's point anyway. They spend their 4 years.
Oh yeah, most people
shit that they end up not doing, and then they go back to get their master's for what they really want.
Yeah, most people don't. Yeah, most people don't. Once they get their 4-year, they don't do what their 4 years in. They
because your brain isn't developed until you're 25 years old. So until you're 25, you don't know who you are. You don't know what your morals and your value. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like what type
You
of life
building
you want to
on-
set up for yourself. So you're getting a degree before your brain is fully developed. So of course your mind is going to change.
Right. And don't let nobody tell you that go get a degree so you can get more money. Because
unless you're going to open people's bodies up and like do surgery on
the
their
inaccuracy of that comment is huge. I know we live in a society to which they put so much weight on degrees, but when it comes down to it, if you have experience in this particular field, it's all about who you know. It's all about how you speak, how you present yourself, and what type of value you bring to yourself. Yeah, because when that person told me I need to go back and get my bachelor's so I can take her to my job so then they can pay me, I'm like, get out of here. I'm not doing that. I'm not about to go into $20,000 in debt, more debt, school debt, student loan debt. I'm not about to go $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, whatever it is, just so they can go and pay me $1 more. That don't make no sense. Mm-hmm. So just be strategic in the way that you educate yourself, because even though when I was going through Bryan and Stratton, I was educating myself on the stuff. Like I never opened a book. I was using Google. I was using, Quizlet and all that stuff to, read up on the things that I was being taught, quote unquote. And I don't even remember half that stuff. So
did you pass is the question.
I got straight A's, like literally hundreds.
Yeah, Quizlet will save your life. Quizlet, you can find. That's how you know the educational system is kind of a joke, because you legit can find most things on Quizlet.
Yo, Quizlet.
Find your entire homework assignment.
Yeah, because what these teachers do is they go and they buy these workbooks, great workbooks offline, and they just use them. Mm-hmm. They just copy them and give them out. Mm-hmm. And all that stuff is online. If you need help with math, Khan Academy got me through high school and college, really. The stuff that I didn't remember, Khan Academy. It's, a lot of this stuff is self-taught. And you don't, honestly, you don't hold on to the things. You don't hold on to anything unless it means something to you. Mm-hmm. That's why I held on to, like, sleeping cycles and when I was doing in my psych class, sleeping cycles and earth science. The hottest time of the day is between 12 and 2 o'clock, because the sun is directly over you wherever you are, which is crazy. But
the planet. I keep asking God, in my next life, please make me an astronaut.
Astronaut.
I'm obsessed. I can't. I'm obsessed with how this whole shit operates. I feel like if we just listen to the planet and just like, the internet is alive and well. If you see how the earth interacts with itself and what it has grown on itself to keep it functioning, you'll see that as human beings, we're supposed to like work in unison. Like the earth, if one thing on the earth is off, as we already see with the whole like climate situation, which the climate situation really might be just Earth being like, okay, so clearly they don't know what the fuck to do with it, so we're gonna slowly just destroy ourselves because we don't I don't know what they're doing. They're wild as fuck. But something like the fucking ozone layer, if we didn't have that, our skin would burn off, like in minutes. Everything has to work simultaneously together and on the earth, but also in the universe for like life to function as we know it. That's the lesson that the earth is like trying to teach us, but we're not getting it right. We have to do things together.
It's funny you said that, because I was posed a question on Wednesday after our Kwanzaa meeting. And we was asked, what is the difference between the 10 Commandments and the 42 divine principles of Ma'at? And are you familiar with the 42 principles?
If you start, refresh me.
So the principles it's 42 of them, and it's like I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery or violence with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men or women. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offers. I have not stolen from God. I have not been exclusively angry. I have not cursed God, goddess. I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption. An Egyptian goddess.
Can I see a picture?
It's the one with the all these different things. I have not told lies. I have not cursed. I have not polluted myself. I have not worked evil. I have not polluted the water.
But we already know that they got
I have not stolen
Christianity from a book in
nothing's
Egypt.
land. Anyone's land. And then those are a few ones that I read. What you think the difference is between the distinct differences between the 42 divine principles of Mahat and the 10 commandments?
It starts with I.
Okay.
Number 1. And number 2 is the same. I have not harmed anybody. I have not stolen anything. I have not killed anyone. Like the 10 commandments are what? You do not judge, do not kill.
Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not judge, thou shalt not commit sin. I don't know.
Does
what
it say you shouldn't have
is.
sex before marriage in the 10 commandments?
Is
that a part of the 10
I don't know. Let me see what the 10 commandments are. The 10 commandments. So that's all you got with the differences in the 10 commandments in the Mahat. Yeah. Mahat. So the 10 commandments are but they're different depending on which Bible. Mm-hmm. So 10 commandments. You shall not. Okay. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what it is. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have strange gods before me. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Remember to keep holy the Lord's day. I don't know what this is. Okay, so honor your father and your mother. Okay, that's one that sounds. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not fuck your neighbor wife. Yeah, and then goods.
From your neighbor. You should not rob your neighbor.
Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so I feel like
that's why I said it says because in the commandments it tells you what you should
do.
So what I'm saying is for me, the biggest thing that popped out is it saying like you are having
God first.
You know what I'm saying, conversation with yourself about the type of person you are, and I think that eliminates the judgment part because all you need to be focused on is your goddamn self.
Right. So right, I agree, and that's right. And for me, I said pretty much the same thing. Like with anything of African descent, ancient Egyptians, all that stuff, spirituality came first. So it was more so being one with yourself. Mm-hmm. So then once you're one with yourself, then you can help others, or you can effectively communicate with others around you, because then they will be one with themselves if they follow these commandments. So in turn, you've conquered self-doubt, you've conquered self-actions, you've conquered self altogether. Mm-hmm. So then I can be more beneficial as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, or whatever. Like nothing will phase you. Mm-hmm. So if somebody else comes and they haven't conquered themselves and they say something to you, you can't phase me because I've conquered myself.
Yeah, just like
I'm one with myself.
Oh my God, I can't remember what their name is. So this is a part of like how the Egyptians kind of moved through the world. And there's a book that I read and it talks about how like Mexicans, like back before like America stole like Mexico, they live by similar principles because like brown people for the most part were all pretty much the same.
Right.
So they lived by like certain principles about how you treat other people and how you kind of grow within yourself. And it's still about like the gods. They weren't necessarily gods, but like the elders in the community had like some level of magic, like true story. Mm-hmm. But what they would mainly teach people is like you have to master your shit And I think that's where the whole no judging comes from with Christianity, because who are you to judge anybody when you have to get your shit right?
Right.
So most of like brown,
Maybe
even with natives, like most brown people, it's about you getting right here.
Right.
But as long as you live by codes and regulations and ideologies that don't come from your culture and is not natural to you, it's not gonna connect. It's not gonna thrive. It's not gonna be legitimate, and you're not gonna be fulfilled. You're just gonna be upset and angry and uptight and think you know everything when you don't.
Right. And I get to add on to that, the one big thing that was pointed out about the difference between the 10 Commandments and the 42 Principles of Mahat was the active attempt to be one with the earth, be one with nature. The 10 Commandments is focused solely on thou shalt not. Be disrespectful to the parents. You should not commit adultery and all these different things. But the 42 Principles of Mahat, it speaks about obviously personal growth, but it also speaks about not contaminating the water that's around you and not contaminating the land, not taking anybody's land, or not being a good person, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like respecting my space,
like most other,
and respecting your space.
Yeah, and respecting the place that we live on for free.
For free.
That we were supposed to live on it for free. We don't live on it for free anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
right.
The natives, the earth is in everything the natives do, and everything they live is the earth, right? And that's why a part of the whole situation is like you only get to worship one God, right?
Right.
In most of these organized religions. But the thing is, if you're telling me that God is everything, then he's everything.
And there's multiple things. I mean, even the ancient Egyptians
like
didn't
who brought the
worship
trees?
one job.
And who brought in the water and shit?
Right. And the one person didn't do that. Multiple entities did that. And I mean, the ancient Egyptians, they're polytheistic, but if you look at their gods are just different aspects of life.
Okay, so because you know how my memory is.
Yeah.
So I'm happy we brought this up, because the book Children of the Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi, right? So the book parallels, it's an African book, African author, but the book parallels slavery a lot, but it's also it's a science fiction book. But in the book, they talk about their God. So there's God of the sky, there's God of life and death, there's the God of healing and disease, there's God of the water. There, so it's just like this is how we've always viewed this world that we live in. Is like it's not about worshiping one God over the other. It's about the ocean is its own like entity, right? The ocean is its own life force. 100%. The forest is its own life force. Like a mountain 100%. Is its own life force.
And
like
the
these
desert
things
and everything
have their own organisms that live there to keep it going. They have their own climate to make sure that they stay alive. Like they're self-sufficient with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that just brought me back to the book that I'm saying you need to read. But Overdrive, the app I was telling you about, you can rent books. I got it from Rhea, shared it. I downloaded it. You rent books from using your library card, but they come to your phone. So like you can have an ebook or audio book, and you legit like check it out of like I can check this book off from Arnet, but it's digital. And then it has a return date, and you return it. It's the most amazing thing.
How you return a digital book?
Well, it gives you a certain amount of days to read it, and then it goes back to the library because other people like you're in a line. Depending on how popular the book is, like White Fragility, I think I'm gonna get it before I'm on like a 6-month waiting list on here.
Man, I could give you the login to the audio book.
Do that.
You ever use Audible before?
Sometimes.
Like, have you used it before?
No, I've downloaded it. I listened to like one book, but not really.
Oh, I was about to say, because if you never used it before, they give you one book free.
Yeah,
if you create. Look, I'm about to be black right now. Just create another email.
You're right.
And then log into Audible. That's your free book. That's how I got White Fragility.
I'm going to get it. But Overdrive is free because everybody can't buy books.
Everybody can buy books. They just choose not to buy books.
They choose not. Okay. But listen. Okay, books not that expensive. I guess you're right.
They not.
They're
$15, $12 if you order it.
But what if like $12 is a stretch for them, and it's better for them to get
Better
it free
than them to
from the
go-
library than they can
I mean-
download Overdrive?
I mean, yeah, but 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna download Overdrive so I can save money," and then they're gonna go to McDonald's and kill their insides. So
Okay, we
which
don't
one is
judge
better?
on this show because
I'm just saying,
we just
priorities.
went through the 10 Commandments.
Priorities. I don't follow the 10 Commandments.
But yes, anyway, if you like to rent books from the library, if there's books that you want that you don't want to have to actually buy and have them in your house, Overdrive, I'm feeling you wherever you are, whoever you are. I'm feeling you, but you
Hopefully
need
you
more
black.
black books on there because there's a lot of black authors that I look up.
Oh man, they don't got no
Listen,
black
and
books
some-
on there.
They do, but like some of the like older like black work, like some of it is like historical, like black authors. They have a lot of them, but like they have post-traumatic slave syndrome, but they don't have like Push Out. They don't.
Push Out is so fire. I haven't started it yet, but I'm about to
I
start
haven't
it.
started it yet, but because I feel like I'm gonna be depressed.
I'm about to start it. Listen, the first sentence had me hyped, so I'm like, oh yeah.
It's legit.
I mean, the first sentence they called the girl a hoe, but I'm like, oh, this is lit.
It's legit
Okay.
on my nightstand, and every night I'm like, I'm gonna start it. I'm like, it's too late. I can't read books about like anything wild, like slavery or some sort of injustice or anything like that before I go to sleep. That's some shit I gotta
feel like
read
it's gonna be-
throughout my day.
I feel like it's gonna be a story though, like a story. So I feel like it's not gonna start that quick. I feel like she's gonna put a lot of natural things into perspective while she's telling the story about the main character. I feel like it's a novel, so I don't feel like it's gonna be that hard, but it's gonna
Okay, 'cause
highlight.
I haven't opened it.
I feel like
Stress.
just from reading the synopsis on the back, the summary on the back, I feel like it's gonna be a novel to which she's telling a story about her main character, and she's pinpointing how schools are criminalizing and pointing out, attacking black young women.
I thought I'll start it after this,
But
because this book it has like 80 some pages, and I'm obsessed right now. I can't even put it down.
80 something? That's not nothing. not a lot.
Chapters,
80 chapters?
like 84.
84 chapters?
Yes. You
You
know
read a textbook.
You know
What-
Haben, she comments on a lot of Rhea's stuff.
You been what?
She comments on a lot of Rhea's posts. and
Who was
shit.
Hobbin?
Well, I thought you knew her from Facebook because you always in the mix on Facebook. But anyway, she
Hobbin.
read this shit in one day.
Oh, Hobbin is tripping. That's why
I
her
said-
name's
What?
Hobbin. She been reading out there.
I said, what? She said she just cut everything off, like cut everybody off for the day.
Oh, I need to do that.
But it's
though.
really that fucking. When I tell you, I'm listening to this book while because it's audio.
Oh, it's the audiobook.
It's an audiobook.
Oh, that's talking my language.
Right. So I'm listening to this shit while I'm doing stuff at work. I'm listening to this book while I'm driving. I'm listening to this book while I'm at
Like
the
a
nail
podcast.
salon. Like but I'm definitely buying the physical copy. And she's coming out with another book. And they're coming out with a fucking movie. This book fire as fuck.
Nah, I'm gonna have to read that book.
It's
but
fire.
I'm about to start Push Out and then the other book. Hopefully this at the end of this weekend.
Yeah. It's an African sci-fi. I can't even say like sci-fi because it's about kings and queens and shit, but it's just magic, like regular.
Oh, okay. I'm
Royal,
gonna have to check
it's
that
like a
out.
royal family and the shit that they've done to the people around them and how they have like created this caste system, and it's like it's legit. When you read it, you think of slavery. Like every other page, you thinking of like slavery, but it's in the context of fantasy. It's wild. It's good as hell though.
Interesting.
It's good as hell.
Interesting. But we about to get out of here. I gotta go to the gym. I ain't go
I'm
all
gonna
day.
say you've been out here in the gym. I've been falling off with the gym. Breathe.
Yeah, I ain't.
Save me. I did work out while I was at the lake last weekend. That's what I did last weekend, y'all. I'm gonna be here.
Lake look legit.
So
I
I
ain't
feel
gonna
like we
front.
should rent a house on the lake next year for something. I don't know what, but for something. It was
That look
beautiful.
dope.
I had an amazing time, and it's just a nice, quiet, chill, reflect type of space. It's not like a turn up vacation. It's more like a get out there and eat some good food.
You gotta tell yourself that.
No, I actually have not. I'm trying to think. I didn't even really turn up that much in Jamaica. I mean, it was Jamaica. It was fun, but I didn't drink.
I ain't even really turn up that much in Jamaica.
I did not drink in Jamaica like I thought I would. I didn't even drink
That's
in
good.
DC. Like I didn't. Yeah, I haven't really.
You went to
been
Carefest?
out. Mm-mm.
Oh.
Carefest.
I mean, Carabana.
No, I was at the lake during.
Oh, duh. You was at the lake.
Yeah. There are a couple more trips I have, just so you know. So I don't got time for y'all to be going off on me.
You got more trips. Oh.
Yeah.
It look like it's just gonna be me at the table.
No.
It's just gonna be me at the table.
No, because what happened to us recording, like picking a date when we're not available? Now you just want to get on here and rip me to shreds, y'all. It's the summer. I don't give a fuck what Devin got going on. It's the summer. I work with kids in the winter, so in the summer I'm living my life.
The kids is like they coming up.
They are.
In a month.
They are.
In a month, they're gonna be all in our face.
I seen some of mine today.
I've been seeing mine and around. I work right next to where I live, so.
Yeah.
I
did a workshop with them today, so they all like, oh my god, I can't. I'm like, this is exactly why I need a break.
Don't you work year round, or you gotta? I don't work year round.
Yep. Well, I have the option. Let me not say it's not a mandatory thing. I have the option.
You still be getting that bread.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be working. I got to start working on this PD. Then I'm training the staff at my school in 2 weeks.
Help them out.
3 weeks. So.
How'd I do? I hate that part. My week has been filled with training people.
Yeah. I have fun with it, though. Oh, I'll tell you
what
off
is
air.
this? Okay.
Y'all already know. Bring them set ears for next week's show. This is RoyalFlexTheBrand's Introspective Insight Talk Show. I am KingDevDoe.
And it is your favorite co-host, Noel Moore.
And Shannon
He's
not here.
Not here.
So, but he love you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Introspective Insight. Hope you come back next week.
Come back next week.